I want Detroit to win, period. I'm from here. So whoever helping me win, that's what I'm rocking with.
Hello, friends, and welcome to your Daily Detroit, sharing what to know and where to go in Southeast Michigan, coming to you from our studio at Techtown. I am Jer Stays, here to talk about your thoughts on so many things around town and to help me answer your questions and react to what your feelings are about Detroit stuff, because you've got a lot of it. Norris Howard, the Prince of Brightmoor, how are you?
Hey, man, y'all already know what it is. The West Side is back in the building, and we are here once more to proselytize the gospel of Detroit.
You know, and if you love the Prince of Brightmoor, like we all do, you can get your very own Prince of Brightmoor sticker.
You can.
If you become a member, patreon.com/dailydetroit.
That's right. Members only, just like some of our favorite jackets from the 80s.
Oh, that's taking you back.
Oh, yeah.
That's taking you back.
I have a members only jacket.
Of course you do.
Yeah.
Of course you do.
Yeah.
So join us, patreon.com/dailydetroit. Become a member of our Discord member-only chat. You get stickers or a rocks glass or both, depending on the tier that you join us at. You get our undying thanks. You get access to conversations sometimes earlier.
That's right.
Than the main feed. And, of course, a direct line into us and your feedback.
And sometimes invites to secret events.
Yes, we have secret things planned.
Mm-hmm.
We keep secrets from you unless you're a member at patreon.com/dailydetroit.
So get ready.
Let's get into this episode with a lot of mailbag and a lot of reactions. So let's talk about the Packard Plant. We had a lot of feedback on the Packard Plant.
Oh, I bet.
A lot. Okay. Charles and a few other listeners say, and okay, let me reset in case you didn't listen to the episode earlier this week. Packard Plant, plan to redevelop it, costs more than $50 million. A large chunk of it's going to be light manufacturing or warehousing. Then the front part will be a type of live space that's done by the same people as Dreamtroid.
Yep.
So it's going to be focused towards artists and creatives.
Yep.
So thinking studios or stuff like that.
And Dreamtroid is dope. Dreamtroid is, for those who don't know, right there off Trumbull. Great place if that's your jam.
Yeah, and your station life for what you need for as a creative. Absolutely. Also an electronic music museum, skate park that looks straight out of a Tony Hawk level.
I was about to say, did Tony Hawk have his hand in this? Because this is the Tony Hawk
it's
Pro Skater 1 level from the warehouse level. It's that.
Do you know that's like theoretically possible, right?
Of course,
like he's got a house here.
Yeah, of course. That's why I asked. It is absolutely theoretically impossible. Also, I am most excited about the Museum of Electronic Music.
I like the acronym MODEM.
MODEM, yeah.
I like it a lot. If you get our newsletter, I wrote about the Detroit experiment and that track Think Twice, which was playing in my head the whole time I was going between covering stuff on Monday. Let's get in your mailbag. Charles and a few other listeners, I kind of summed this up a little bit. Mm-hmm. Why not make this a data center? It seems like a natural fit. And there's been a lot of rumors around a data center.
Ugh. Ew. First of all, ew. Second of all, data centers are very contentious right now. Let me answer you academically first. Data centers are very contentious, particularly if they're inside of residential areas. Zoning in Detroit is already notoriously weird, and a data center will have to clear a lot of red tape in order to put one of that magnitude within city limits. That's number one. Number two, they require incredible amounts of resources, incredible amounts of power, water, all that kind of stuff. And lastly, there are environmental hazards to have to consider, and if residential is going to be this close to it, that's already a non-starter.
I will add on to that this isn't a great location because it's got much better access to roads, rail, and freeways. A data center, you don't need to be near those things.
Just some water.
You just need, and you need to connect to it. Whereas for something like this, if you're doing trucking, if you're doing warehousing, if you're doing, I could see something logistics, drone delivery, light manufacturing. It just makes a whole lot more sense there.
Yeah.
And there is a lot of stuff you can do where you have housing nearby. There's a lot of, some people don't believe that, but you can go throughout the suburbs and see light industrial across from residential neighborhoods, and it's fine.
Oh, listen, that is literally all DeQuinder is. Like, you go up John R., you go up DeQuinder, in between those two streets is all light industrial.
Okay, Tia, I hope it's commercial and residential. Give me Zara, Mango, Home Goods, Foot Locker, Kroger, Sephora, and a Trader Joe's. So basically, I think they want a strip mall.
Yeah, that's what you want. And my answer is no.
Not there?
Not there. Maybe somewhere else, but not quite there. I think, first of all...
Maybe they're thinking it's easy to get off of the freeway.
Yes,
right?
I get
So
it.
if you're car-centric, then I could see where it's like, oh, there's some big lots that are like right around the curve of Grand Boulevard.
Here's the problem, all right, is again, when stuff like that gets built, you have to create there has to be a justification for the market there. And if you're going to put a Zara or anything like that in the city of Detroit, currently, really the only place you're going to put it is downtown or midtown. That's the only places with density that have it. This needs to be, in my opinion, exactly what they made it for. I usually don't cape for the big developers like that, but this is exactly what this should be. It should be a residential / creator space. It should then be something that's providing jobs by reviving some light manufacturing. So that's bringing jobs to the area, and you're creating common community space, third space. That is also what needs to be created in the city, and that's something that I see that the city of Detroit is very conscious of. Creating skate parks, creating museums, creating places where our youth and our seniors can go and hang out and don't necessarily have to spend money.
I live around the way from this thing, okay?
Yeah.
And let's just say, you're going to have to bring people in for this. It's not like there's a ton of people who live over there.
No, this would be new people.
Yeah, it's new folks. One thing that could be interesting, I know that a lot of it might be aimed towards artists and creative space, but I think about somebody who's trying to get themselves together. Let's say they got a job at that place next door. They could live next door as they get their stuff together.
No, and the cool part about that is they could either live next door, or this could be somebody who may have just missed the list to live in Dreamtroit, or maybe this is somebody who is new to town who wants to live in a creator type space that, you know, they wouldn't be able to live anywhere else otherwise, or maybe they really don't want to live in, you know, one of the older homes in that area. Maybe they want to live in something that's a little bit new but still has an old look. Listen, it opens the door to a lot of possibilities.
Look, I love my neighborhood. I was going down Field Street, closer past Mac. There are some, if you're looking for some cool homes to fix up from a different era, they're all there. But I'm going to tell you this, and this is something that I think is going to be a theme around some of our reactions to this. Like, you need money. If I had the money, I would fix up one of these places.
Oh, you need, but like, you need mad bread.
Yeah, you need a bread factory.
Yeah, like, you know.
These houses could be like Indian Village, but you need money.
Well, it's like, you know, you go to one of these places, you buy, you know, one of these older homes for 80, 90K, but you got to put another 250 into it in order to make it really up to snuff for its former grandeur. So that area is full of those types of homes, but this is going to allow people to just get back in the city and bringing jobs in the city as well. This is a good idea.
And that area suffers from a problem that a lot of those old homes, I drive by them all the time, okay? They're really cool, but the amount of money to restore stuff of that quality or of that era and of that size, and a lot of families aren't of that size anymore.
Yeah, it's just a difference in demographics nowadays. A lot of those, even the duplexes and stuff that were built over there, I mean, this was for people who had 2 adults and 4 kids and maybe a dog. Like, that is a lot of space, and these homes are massive. And so unless you're moving 7 to 9 people into those buildings, you almost don't even have a use case for a lot of them to still be there. So this Packard Plant idea seems to be a good plan so far, multi-use, multi-purpose, and I think that's what a lot of our development should be moving forward.
So multiple listeners, including Tracy, say that they looked at the renderings and said that there is not enough parking. They're concerned where the cars will go.
It's not for you to be like super duper visiting like that. It's not the mall, right? You want parking
enough for the people who
live there. You want parking for the people who are going to work at the light industrial next door, and you want parking for a little bit of the museums. Guys,
there's so much street frontage there.
And there's street frontage. We got to get out of this. Oh my God, I need a giant parking lot Oh my God, it is not.
Do you know how terrible
Walmart.
giant parking lots are for the environment?
They're awful.
We should never build another one without true like environmental buffers. One of the great parking lots I really like is, not that there are great parking lots, but outside of the People's Co-op, they did a nice job with the drainage and everything. Parking lots destroy environments. They cost a ton of money. They're terrible for wildlife.
And they cut off communities.
So we got to design it better. We can't just do big lots anymore.
No, and on top of that, just make a structure. If it's that serious, make a structure, and at least if you make a structure, you can put some retail at the bottom of it, man. Like, come on, y'all, with the parking lots.
Okay, this is from a number of people. The mayor said that every time we can preserve historic architecture, we do. What about that? The Renaissance Center? And then someone else said they took down 90% of the property and are replacing it with surface lots and a giant gray warehouse. This is not saving architecture. A lot of people were very upset about this.
So, all right. So on one hand, we got people saying it ain't enough parking. On another hand, we say it's too much parking.
I mean, isn't that local news in a nutshell?
What is it? That's number one. But number two, to a certain extent, I agree. I think the Renaissance Center, you got to take the Renaissance Center out of the traditional architecture conversation because it's not traditional architecture. And it is such a different case from literally every other building in the entire state of Michigan that it's an outlier.
Can I actually make a tie bar between the Ren-Cen and the Packard Plant?
If you want.
I think I can.
Try me.
Both of those facilities have been economically unusable for decades. And so they're poorly designed for the modern era.
Big old albatross.
They're albatrosses. I've talked to so many people over the years about the Packard Plant. I have covered this over and over again. The way the Packard Plant was designed, the ceilings were too big for residential and too low for industrial. And in the modern era, people are not building industrial on multiple floors. It's inefficient. It destroys efficiency. With the Renaissance Center, for years, even before the pandemic, for many, many years, look, the Ren-Cen never actually made sense.
No.
It was, and financially, although we all love it because we see it in the news all the time, the books just don't make sense on it. And so at the end of the day, I like the idea of saving what we can. Those extremely historic buildings over by Grand Boulevard, I think that's absolutely great.
Yeah.
But we cannot live in the past. And as a neighbor, I am glad it's gone because it was tore up.
It was.
There were boats in it.
I mean, here's what I got to ask, right? And the question is how much crap are we supposed to keep up for the sake of preservation, right? There's a certain extent where we could keep certain things, but at the end of the day, the purpose of the old is to be fertilizer for the new. That is the purpose of our cyclical existence, right? And so when something like the Packard Plant that actually could be used for something new, awesome. The Renaissance Center could only be hotel offices. That's it. We've litigated this already on many shows on this show.
And it's going to take a huge lift to make part of it residential, and they're going to do that.
Yeah, but they're not going to do it for all of it. So the rest of it got to come down. It is what it is.
I'm tired.
Hit me with it.
Hit me preface with this.
With it. Hit me with it.
I love historic buildings. I
know you do.
Many buildings come down that should not have come down. I was around for the Statler. I was around for the Madison Lennox. I was around for the Lafayette. I've been around for a number of these things, okay?
Around for all of it.
My career started at Channel 4 News with the implosion of the Hudsons.
Fun day.
Okay?
That was fun, though. I bet it was fun.
Here's the thing. I love all this stuff.
Yeah.
But we need to live in reality. I am sick of living in a city where it's all about the hope and not about the jobs. Where it's all about, well, I want to paste my perfect vision of what you should have. Yet I have been living here for 20 damn years.
Yeah.
And I see these same people. I don't see these people in my streets.
They not.
Lots of people have lots of opinions about things they never visit. Ooh. Lots of stuff where I have been here for decades. And I am tired of being told what I should do.
Cook, brother.
Okay? I know my neighbors are tired of being told what we should do. Oh, this is my vision. Well, put up some damn money.
Cook, brother.
Okay, I want things to work. I want to live in a neighborhood where it's safe to walk down the streets. I want to live in a place where I don't see 90% abandoned buildings or empty lots going down areas that should be full of people. We need to look forward, and to my fellow residents, we need to look forward. What was happening before was not working. I know there's changes, and change is tough, but things have not been working. And the reality is we've still been seeing middle-class flight to the suburbs. I'm not saying we have to reproduce the suburbs, but we need to be real about the situation that, yes, positive things are happening, but also there are challenges. I sent out a newsletter, and a lot of people got mad at me for juxtapositioning the Packard Plant and the Leland situation. But that is the truth.
Well, yeah.
Detroit is never going to move forward unless we talk about the truth. And also, we need to get the extremists out of the way. Because you know what? People got to live. This city is never going to turn around as long as the average income is $30,000, $40,000 a year. You know, people be like, well, why isn't it out like Chicago or whatever? And I know there's poor areas of Chicago and there's challenges and all that other stuff. But the median income's still like close to 60. People like Coleman Young himself said the problem, like people steal stuff because they're not making money. Hey, like we gotta get real about it.
Crime is a symptom of poverty, my friend. It's just all studies point to it. Crime is a symptom of poverty. And so if you approach it from that lens, what is a main way that you reduce poverty? Jobs, development, neighborhood programs. We've already seen that crime has been able to come down through neighborhood policing initiatives, through gun buyback programs, getting more guns off the streets. There are a bunch of things that Detroit's already doing that's moving the city in the right direction. But when it comes to development, when it comes to actually putting new things in the city, there is this friction, that exists within residents. And as a resident, as somebody like Jer, who has spent nearly their entire life here, I've only not lived within Detroit city limits for 2 years of my life. And I'm telling you now, new stuff makes Detroiters very happy. And so when new things are happening and people feel like they have a city that they could be proud of, people want to be here. And so we got to keep the momentum going. And if you ain't part of that momentum, I don't know what to tell you.
All right, a couple of feedbacks for you, Norris.
Do you know this is my favorite part?
Okay, listener Brian listened to the November 26th podcast today, and I want to inform Norris he is using some outdated population numbers. Speaking on affordable housing, he stated the city's African-American population is traditionally 82 to 85%. It was in the 2000 and 2010 census reports. He says this narrative is used by local and national media to amplify Detroit having the nation's largest black population percentage-wise. Here are the latest numbers, goes through it, but highlights in 2020 it is down to 77.6%, and 2025, 76.7%.
I don't care. It's still a majority black city. That was my point.
So tying into that, Eric, who says he's a city resident, Detroit's black population has lost 6 percentage points since 2010. I think this pace will double or more, where it's 60% of Detroit in 2040. Norris, okay. How can we stop this trend? It's clear my friends are moving to Southfield, Macomb County, Farmington Hills. They just are gone. And the mainstream media keeps telling me it's affordability, but I know they're buying better houses and spending more money in the suburbs.
That's right.
I know you keep it a buck. Make it make sense for me.
Here's what's happening. Number one, Detroit, when it comes to black residents, has lost the safety narrative. Even though safety has been reduced, there is still the feeling in the neighborhoods that the neighborhoods are not safe. The biggest thing, education. The schools in the suburbs are better, period. As long as in the state of Michigan that we have our education funding tied to property taxes, that is always going to result in the suburbs having better schools, period. The moment we decouple those two things, we're allowed to have funding go into the Detroit public school district from other sources in a more efficient and effective way, then you'll be able to see some changes with that, or you can just increase population as much as possible. The city is choosing the latter because the other way is just way too difficult. The last part about that I'll say specifically for black folks moving out to the suburbs, because like I said, I got family in the suburbs, is at the end of the day, we have to decouple success from the suburbs. And that is an ideological shift. We have to decouple success from the suburbs.
I apologize for interjecting, but isn't this kind of true in other areas? Like you look at Atlanta, a lot of that's suburbs.
Absolutely. Atlanta is a big suburb. Like that is Atlanta. But also Atlanta's construction boom and its construction industry makes it so very large homes are significantly cheaper than many other places in the country. And so for more homes or for more house, you pay a lot less. Here's the thing about the city of Detroit that I think people need to recognize is that the city of Detroit, I don't think will ever not be a majority black city. I think it will always be a majority black city for the foreseeable future. Will it be 75 to 80% majority black city? Nope. And you got to get rid of that notion right now, because as much as I hate to admit this, the numbers are the numbers. Nationally, black folks don't make as much money as white folks. It is what it is. So people with means, people with more finances, and I'm not saying there are no rich middle class black folks, because we know there are. And maybe we could convince some of our cousins from Baltimore and Atlanta and San Francisco and, you know, California and all that to move to Detroit. Maybe we could. But at the end of the day, there's a cohort in America that has more money to spend. And as long as they got that expendable income, could come in, fix up houses, invest in businesses, revitalize neighborhoods, they're going to do it in places like Detroit and in places like Baltimore and in places like Cleveland, where their money is going to be way longer than moving to New York or Chicago or LA or Austin. They're going to do it. I personally do not care. I don't care. I don't. I want Detroit to win, period. I'm from here. So whoever helping me win, that's what I'm rocking with. I think it still includes black people in a major way, right?
A leadership way.
A leadership way, a cultural way, and in a business way as well. But at the end of the day, I think we also have to decouple in many ways this concept that being a majority black city is the only thing we have to offer. And I think for a lot of people, that is the biggest thing Detroit has to stand on, and I wholly disagree with that.
What do you think on top of that, from your perspective, as far as offering?
I think we have such a rich cultural history, and of course, majority of that is due to its black community. I think there is a thriving entrepreneurial community here that is of many races and many colors. I think our food scene is incredible. Compared, like proportional to our population, our food scene is nuts. It's great. And I think there's a lot of things that we have to offer in terms of, if you're an architecture nut, like I hear it all the time from a lot of people and a lot of my friends from other cities that's like, wow, there's so much great architecture in Detroit, and, you know, people are trying to build on that. We still don't have like an over perversion of 4/1s, even though, you know, a few of them have gone up in the city of Detroit. Other towns have put up way more. And so we don't have that. And that's just kind of the tip of the iceberg. Our musical legacy and our musical scene has grown, and really Detroit rap is the only rap that still sounds regional nowadays. There's a ton of stuff about the city of Detroit that is still exciting, that's still important, that still requires us to be a part of the narrative. But also at the same time, I'm welcoming everybody. If you're here for Detroit, if you're here to improve this place, if you're here to start a business, raise your kids, make money out here, that's what I'm here for you for. And I really don't give a damn what you look like.
Would love your thoughts. dailydetroit@gmail.com or 313-789-3211. We may use your feedback on the air. All right, for the podcast for today, I'm going to wrap it up. Norris Howard, so good to talk to you.
It's good to talk to you, and it's good to talk to the people as well.
I'm J.R. Stays. Thank you so much for listening. I hope to see you at Merry Midtown this Saturday. We will be live streaming in Midtown.
That's right.
Looking forward to it next Tuesday. It will be a lot of fun over there on Canfield.
Yeah.
Remember that you are somebody, and we'll see you around Detroit. Take care.